Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in to another Viola story. The last episode I talked about MDCP. I've come to find out that this program is only available here in Texas. Every time I'd search for it, it would just pop up about Texas, and so hopefully other states offer something very similar. I tried to do a search, really couldn't find a whole lot, but I didn't know exactly what I'm searching for. While also getting qualified for this MDCP, we started also getting Viola into private therapy for speech at our Children's House Baylor. The therapist that she had there, she still has her, has been wonderful. They were doing a lot of things, just trying to help strengthen up around the lips and the mouth, trying to train her and teach her how to swallow and all that. She can swallow fine now. So that has been an ongoing process. By doing that, she's still also getting services at home for her OT and her PT here at the house. The gals would come in and work with her, which helped us because as we got this MDCP, we were also searching for a nurse that would help with those therapies and work with her when they weren't here, the therapists weren't here. We struggled a little bit trying to find a nurse. We contacted one agency, and they set up about 5 different interviews with people through this time. I mean, it had been about 6 weeks, and every time the person would leave like, oh, I'm so excited to start, and then we get a phone call saying, no, they're not starting, they didn't accept the job, and we got very confused, a little frustrated, and we were thinking, okay, is Viola that severe that nobody wants to work with her? Well, thinking, well, no, not really. I mean, she's pretty easygoing. We could never figure out the reasoning why. So after this time frame, we got to the point, we contacted a friend of ours. They hooked us up with the agency that they've used, and it worked pretty well. We did have a few hiccups in the beginning. We had 2 different nurses that would come out through the week, which was okay because it gave somebody different for Viola to work for. However, once one of these nurses got a little bit too comfortable in the house, she stopped working with Viola and stopped doing the things with her. And we're like, not having this. So my wife called the agency and told her what was going on. They called the nurse, told her she needs to leave. She left. And about 2 weeks later, we got a brand new nurse, and she was with Viola full time. She was great. She worked really well with Viola. Viola loved her. It was beautiful to see Viola's reaction when this nurse would come in to work with her. And she helped us in the process, along with her and PT, about getting braces for her ankles because Viola was starting to crawl a little bit eventually during this time frame. We're looking at about from a little before a year all the way up to 2 years old here during this time frame. She got the AFOs as well during this time frame. Those are let me backtrack. She had braces that were just around her ankle. We had to put those on. She started kind of walking, and we used those, and she kind of grew out of the smaller ones around the ankles, and they didn't see the need for anything else. And then eventually, when she was walking more, she was kind of unstable quite a bit. So they put AFOs on her, which were ones that went around the ankle and up the calf, about halfway, maybe a little bit higher than on the lower leg there. And she had those for quite a few months. She doesn't have them anymore. She's doing great. And so the nurse, along with the therapist, were hand in hand and adamant about getting us those things, and it was awesome. And I'm very thankful that they helped us with that. So now we've got the nurses, we've got the help. They're working with her. The nurse that comes in is doing everything that she needs to do. And I don't want to give too much detail because this next phase is a shocker to myself. It was a shocker to my wife. We were giddy, enjoyed, and I don't want to give it away. So you'll have to come back to see what it's about. Positive thing. Golly, what has she done recently? She's just starting to talk more, a little bit more. You can pinpoint a few words. I can't remember if I've said this yet, but one day I caught her. I thought she was screaming and crying at her brothers, and I look up and she's staring at the window, and I'm thinking, why is she looking at the window? And I'm looking at her, and she's got this microphone, and she's just babbling away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think she's singing. And she was, because she wasn't looking at the boys, and she's just singing, love it, love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So proud of her, but she's been doing that for a while now. I just don't remember if I pointed it out yet. So, yay, way to go, Viola. So, I'm going to head out, end there. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Please, feel free to share this with anybody who is looking for help with anything. I'm more than happy to help out. I hope that you will come on back to next week's episode, because it's going to be a shocker for, well, it was a shocker for me. I don't know about you guys, so come on back.